It's the professional-grade Mac nobody knew they wanted until Apple announced all the specs of typical of a Mac Pro: Xeon processors, ECC Ram, gobs of memory, and ridiculously fast storage, rolled up into the all-in-one chassis of iMac. And it shouldn't really work. We've been told for years that what pros want is flexibility and expandability, configurable towers and upgradable components. But which made it hard to review. In my time with the machine, I've been repeatedly bowled over by its power, speed and responsiveness. But the truth is that a regular iMac is easily a fast enough computer for me. It totally works, because there are many kinds of pros and, for some, power is best when expressed through the whisper quiet, eye-popping form of an integrated DCI-P3 5K display. For the last few weeks I've been testing the lowest end, 8-core, starting at $4,999, 1 TB configuration of iMac Pro to see if it could hold up to my existing podcast and brand new YouTube workflow better than either my regular iMac or Kaby Lake MacBook Pro. The answer is yes, of course. It's ludicrously powerful. But how exactly it did so, and the types of limits I ran into even on Apple's new Pro platform weren't what I expected. So, here's the deal on Apple's new all-in-one for those who always wished it was hit by enough gamma rays to make it more hulkingly pro. iMac Pro in brief. For people who want a workstation class all-in-one, massive amounts of memory and ultra-fast storage, higher-end graphics options, whisper quiet operations, advanced, ARM-based encryption and boot protection. Not for people who want. I have been impressed with the way it whizzes along, whether you're using Final Cut Pro X or Cinema 4D, unadvanced 3D modeling, animation and rendering application used in the creative industries. Final Cut Pro X, Apple's own professional video editing app, introduced a series of features when the iMac Pro arrived, including 360-degree VR video editing, among other things. The program allowed users to edit 8K video on a Mac for the first time. A workstation class tower, user-accessible memory and storage, NVIDIA graphics options, a ton of expansion slots and bays, Touch ID/Face ID and Apple Pay. For people who love everything about the iMac, including and especially its magnificent wide-gamut 5K display and all-in-one design, but need high-end processors, graphics, memory, and storage. If you're waiting on the future modular Mac Pro, keep waiting. If you want ultra-elegant Pro performance today, get the iMac Pro. iMac Pro design and display. iMac Pro looks like an iMac. No surprise there. From the outside, it is millimeter for millimeter the exact same chassis as the existing 27-inch iMac. There are some differences in the mix, speakers, ports, vents, and mounting options. But you'd be hard-pressed to tell it apart. Except for this, it's anodized in space gray. And it looks so badass, I'm guessing money is no object. Customers might buy it just for the new finish. The biggest and most welcome change are those mounting options. You no longer have to choose between a stand mount or a VESA mount at time of purchase. If you buy both, you can switch between both at any time. Hallelujah! The Retina 5K display remains the same as the current generation iMac Non-Pro, which is about as good as an ISP panel can be right now. Here's what I wrote about it in my review. When I first saw Retina 5K on iMac, I thought it almost looked better than real life. Then, when I saw DCI-P3 wide gamut Retina, I was fairly sure it looked better. Now that it's 43% brighter, 500 nits. If you're keeping score, and implements 10-bit temporal dithering, it looks as good as the iPad Pro displays, and is perfectly color matched thanks to Apple's hardware calibration and software management, and that's saying a lot. It's about as close as you can get to full HDR without going OLED. Speaking of which, some may be disappointed Apple didn't take the opportunity to redesign its classic all-in-one things you need to, creating an airport with a hard-to-render curvy roof, a car park with recognizable vehicles and passengers. You want to be able to see what the building will look like in the rain, sunshine or snow. I've seen Twinmotion in action, and on the iMac Pro it can create remarkable looking buildings and astonishingly detailed surroundings in nothing flat. Delete the bezels. Go edge to edge across the display and thin it fully down to 2D. Personally, I can't wait to see what might be next for iMac's design language. But this wasn't about making a new outside. This was about cramming the existing outside full to busting with all new insides. It was about making the iMac Pro processors. The heart of the iMac Pro is neither commercial-grade Intel Core processors nor full-on server-class Xeon processors. It's something new, something that Intel intends to sit in the middle. It's called Xeon W, as in workstation. Commercial computers are typically like sports cars, fast and agile, and super exciting if you don't need to haul a load. That's Intel's Core i7 series. Servers are more like trucks, reliable and scalable but not as zippy. That's Intel's Xeon Gold series. The new Xeon W is meant to be more like an SUV, maintain a good amount of pep but be ready to haul when you need to haul. Apple is offering up 8, 10, 14, or 18 core versions, and each of those are double-threaded. Here's how their base and turbo frequencies break down. 8-core, 3.2 GHz base, 4.2 GHz turbo. 10-core, 3.0 GHz base, 4.5 GHz turbo. 14-core, 2.5 GHz base, 4.3 GHz turbo. 18-core, 2.3 GHz base, 4.3 GHz turbo. So, if single core is important to you, the 10-core version has the absolute fastest turbo frequencies. If massive parallelism is where you're at, you can go all the way to 18.
Follow us. Google search www.googlesearch.co.in. Facebook/blog2 page/ www.facebook.com web link Twitter.com/blog2bebt. Twitter.com web link. If you like this video, click like icon and share your friends.
If you want more best videos, please subscribe and click bell icon.